Yes, I'd like to bring up a topic which was somewhat alluded to, and that is the government subsidies to large corporations. This is an issue I find unites some very interesting groups. A lot of people who would be calling themselves right-wing Republicans are staunchly against subsidies to government for corporations because it's government supporting business. Just as an example, you could not have a nuclear power industry without a government subsidy to underwrite the insurance, because no insurance company will ever underwrite a nuclear power plant. And so I'd like to know both of your thoughts on cutting these subsidies of our hard-earned taxpayers' money to keep these corporations, because multinational corporations cannot exist without government subsidies.
Definitely. What else can I say? Of course. I'm not only against the government subsidizing the corporations, but I'm against the reverse of that as well, where the corporations are subsidizing the candidates. Krissy and I here are running on grassroots contributions from people like you. One of the problems that I had when I became a candidate was that the churches and the schools and the peace groups that I used to get asked to go to all the time were no longer allowed to have me because it would jeopardize their 501c3 status. Well, that's what I count on, is groups like that to hear me out, and maybe folks will make a little contribution. The Democrats and the Republicans don't care about churches and schools and peace groups, because that's not where they get their contributions. They get them from the corporations. So I see it as a trading back and forth of money between the two, and would put a stop to it if I could.
Yeah, it seems like there's two Republican parties. There's this sort of, middle-income Republican Party that's just sort of got that kind of KKK kind of mentality, where every individual out for himself and, no government and all of that. And then there's the Republican Party that actually is big business, and they're using each other back and forth to create their huge stockpiles of their individual homes and all, the big oil barons, and, they use how Walmart, they have all those deals with the government. We pay all the health care for the Walmart employees, and so they don't have to give them a legal living wage, and so Walmart can go off and have their $100 million, compounds. Let's face it, all these big Republicans, have these huge compounds at this point where they're off the grid. They have solar power. They have their own armies practically at this point. So it's interesting how that works. Yeah, the United States has been subsidizing all the major corporations for years, all the airlines and everything. And I would say we should own those businesses as a community rather than individual people reaping the profits and then we subsidize them. I think, that's absolutely horrible. And just one more thing is, I'm a big proponent of the WPA. I believe in a strong federal government that's in the interest of the people. And, during Roosevelt's time, they made all these jobs available to people, and they did amazing things with the money and created amazing things, and they did amazing things in the arts at the same time, where they employed thousands of artists all over the United States, and they created theater companies and dance companies and murals, and they grappled with the real social issues of the time, where socialism wasn't a dirty word, where they thought about how should wealth be distributed, and all the dance companies and theater companies, they all engaged in those issues together. And just a couple of statistics, because the money's there. It's just that our money is used all wrong. The money is there that each person in the United States and worldwide could live a happy, productive life. But just briefly, the WPA built 650,000 miles of roads. I would say we should just put it all into the tidal power and start exploring all of that stuff right now. 78,000 bridges, 125,000 buildings, 700 miles of airport runways. 7% of the budget was allocated to the arts project, presenting 223,000 concerts to audiences totaling 150 million people. We could make a garden again of this place if we could bring our money back out and then send it out to take care of all of us and our children.